Hello everyone from the end of day one at the CIPD L&D Show, and I thought I'd share with you what I think the key themes have been. I think what's clear, starting with number one, is that L&D are still finding their feet in terms of the role that they play in the new world of work, and I don't think that's necessarily the responsibility purely of L&D. I think it's about what organisations expect of their L&D team, and perhaps not expecting or not understanding what L&D can bring to the party. So enabling them to be real facilitators of their learning strategy, of innovation, collaboration, and then of course impacting the bottom line. I don't think necessarily it's given the kudos it deserves, but a lot of that is to do with where L&D place themselves in the organisation. So I sense that there are a lot of L&D professionals here looking for advice about the way in which L&D organises itself, the roles and responsibilities and key skills that it needs to foster, and the type of conversations that it needs to have to be able to market itself as key to strategic development in an organisation. Certainly no longer the keepers of the catalogue, which is something that I talk about quite a lot. I dipped into Laura Overton's session, who was presenting the findings in the latest Towards Maturity report, and that certainly does discuss that in terms of whether L&D feel that they are ready and able and resourced to deliver on those promises. And it's something that WillowDNA, of course, get involved in a lot, the organisation that I work for, in terms of supporting organisations with their strategic development, aligning strategy then to real content and tools and technology, and of course developing the skills of the L&D team. So it certainly seems as if those services are more important than ever before, and had some great conversations with people that need that type of support, which of course we're all too glad to do. The other big topic here, and it's almost a bit of a renaissance topic I suppose, is blended learning. Now the concept of blended learning, as we know, is nothing new, but what's interesting is the context in which it's being spoken about here is understanding that learning doesn't happen at a point in time, that it's creating an environment in which people have a learning scaffold by which they can do all those things we were just talking about in terms of connecting with other people, being able to apply, being able to reflect, being able to share, being able to collaborate, all of those things. That's where blended learning really comes into its own as the enabling scaffold to help people have the confidence and the framework in which they're able to embark on these things. And I think it's quite nice to see, actually, because I think it's that pragmatic middle ground between formal and informal learning. We know how important fostering a learning environment is in informal learning. In terms of developing organisational performance or helping me meet my learning objectives, having some context and a place to start, not the blank piece of paper, is a huge advantage. And it doesn't mean that I'm tied to somebody else's learning agenda or learning scaffold, but it gives me a starter for 10 where I can start to explore my own view and my own experience of a particular topic and be able to contribute in a meaningful way much quicker. So I think that's where the blend is really coming into its own, and an awful lot of sessions here have been talking about how you create the right blend. For what it's worth, for me, I think although you can have a toolkit in terms of following somebody's learning journey and thinking about learning loops and Ginny Salmon's model of developing online content, or certainly applying it to the development of online content, I think that there isn't a one-size-fits-all. In fact, if any of you that have read Clive Shepherd's book, More Than Blended Learning, you'll find from the case studies there, and our case study from media brands is an example of this. Those case studies are very different because it absolutely depends on the context, the driver, the business environment, the commercial pressures and the preferences of the learners. So it means, really, it puts L&D back into that central heart, that central role. And it means that for any of you that are looking to engage a learning partner, of course we would hope that you would knock on the door of WillowDNA. You know, this is what we've been doing for the last decade. It's certainly, you know, at the core of our offering. But Any learning provider should be supporting you to be able to facilitate this new world of learning through their content, through what they offer via platforms, and any supporting consultancy. So delivering a piece of content should be more than a packaged zip file. Delivering a platform should be more than getting users on there and getting the content up there. It's about, even when you look at that one piece of content, that it fits an overall environment where you're encouraging all of that great learning behaviour. So even something as simple as a piece of compliance learning can be the springboard to really intensive dialogue in your organisation that leads to new ways of working, leads to efficiencies, leads to a new product or a new service. So don't underestimate how important it is to have that real learning mindset before you start to engage even a piece of content or the type of learning environment you're hoping to create by bringing in a new platform. And that's certainly how we approach all of our engagements. So that's it from the CIPD L&D Show 2015. Hope to see you soon at the next event, and do check out our YouTube channel where I post vlogs regularly, and hope to see you back here soon.